Okay guys, I'm going to go over the homework, and some of you have told me that the audio was not very good the last time I did the video, so I'm going to try my best to make sure I'm close to the microphone, and please let me know if it improved. Hopefully it did. So okay, so we're going to do here is the 6 problems that you guys had for homework, and this is from your interactive notebook, page 62. Those of you that might have been absent, you might want to go ahead and do this work with me. So number 7 and 8 and 14 and 18 were the homework, the problems from this page, and then there's 2 more problems to do. So let me go ahead and do this one. Number 7, square root of 8. So I'm going to use this side. So this is where we do our work, and if you run out of room on page 63, you can also use page 64 for doing your work. So I have some room on page 63, so I'm going to do it here. So the problem number is 7, which is square root of 8. So 7 square root 8. Okay, so remember what we said. You look for factors. Okay, so any factors besides 1 in itself, if it's 1 in itself, it's prime, which means you can't, there's not going to be any pairs. So, but you could also have other numbers that might have factors but still not have pairs, so you'll run into that as well. So let's see, what are 2 numbers that multiply to be 8? 4 and 2. Okay, and then 2 is prime, so I'm going to circle that one. 4 is composite, so that means it can be broken down even further. What multiplies to give 4? You can do 2 and 2. So 2 times 2. Now we got, these are prime. Now since you can't go any further with these, that means you're done, but in case you messed something up, it would be a good idea to multiply the circled numbers. So 2 times 2 times 2 is certainly 8. So we found all the factors. So now what we're going to do is write them out. Interestingly, they're all the same. So you got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now here they should also be equal to 8. 2 times 2 times 2 should equal 8. If it doesn't, you're missing something or you added something, okay, so be careful. Then you look for pairs, and pairs instead of triplets or quadruplets is because a square root is for pairs only. So we're going to try to root this out. So I'm going to write equals to write the equivalent expression of it. So 2 times 2 is 4, but when you square root 4, it comes out to just be 1, 2, okay? So that comes out, and this one doesn't have a pair, so it stays stuck inside. So 2 root 2 is your final answer, okay? So that is a simplified version of root 8, okay? The 8 became a 2 because you pulled this pair out and it came out here, and you're left with this. And that's what we're trying to do, is get the radicand to become smaller. Okay, so that's number 7. Let's go to number 8 and see what it was. Number 8 is square root of 18. Okay, so square root of 18. Now 18, there's actually has several factors like 2 and 9, 6 and 3. I guess those are it. So you can choose either one. I'm going to use 2 and 9, but you can use 6 and 3 because in the end we still get all the same prime factors. 2 is prime. 9 breaks down into a 3 times 3. Those are prime as well. So I'm going to write the longer radical. I'm going to get these in there, 2 times 3 times 3. Remember, anytime in the video you can always rewind, pause, and see if you can do it on your own instead of just doing everything with me. Try to do as much on your own as possible. Okay. Now I only see one pair of 3s, and this one's going to get stuck inside. So this comes out as 1, 3. Because 3 times 3 is 9. When you square root that, it comes out as just a 3. Okay, that's gone. So the only one that's stuck inside is 2, and that is your final answer. Because 2 has no more pairs, it's going to stay 2. So it's 3 root 2. Okay? No, it wasn't 9, was it? Let's see. What was it? 7, 8, and I think it was 14. Yeah, 14, which is root 50. So let's go to 14, which is root 50. Okay? So root 50, we're going to go ahead and break that down. So if you're like, I don't know what 50 is divisible by, like 50 divided by 2, hey, that works, 2 and 25. 50 divided by 3, no, that's not going to work. How about 50 divided by 4? Nope, that doesn't work. How about 50 divided by 5? Yep. So I've already found 2 possibilities. 50 divided by 2, if you do that, you can put a 2 and a 25. If you divide 50 divided by 5, not times, then you get 10, so you can put 5 and 10. A lot of you guys like that one, so I'll go with that one. So 5 is prime. 10 can be broken down to 5 times 2. Be careful that you don't say 5 and 5. Remember, we're multiplying. We're not adding these. We're multiplying. So 5 times 5 would give me a 25, not a 10. So I need to do 5 times 2. And turns out both of these are prime. So I'm ready to expand it out. So I've got a 5 times 2. So I've got one pair that's going to come out, and this 2 gets left behind, so you get 5 root 2, and that's your final answer. Okay, these are pretty straightforward, okay? Alright, I'm running out of room here, so I'm going to flip to the next page and do number 18. Let me see what number 18 is. 9 root 125. Okay, so page 64, and that was, what was it again? Okay, 18. So 9 root 125. Alright, this is just, okay. So 9 root 125, so the thing about this one is, maybe I'll put it here. I'm going to rewrite the 9 because 9, you don't want to forget about it. And then just put the long bar, radical bar, just getting ready, okay? So we're going to see what this can break down into. So some of you guys will be like, I don't know. What can multiply to give me 125? Well, divide to find those factors. So 125, I don't know, I'll start with the smallest number. Divide by 2. Nah, that's a decimal. Let's try 3. 125 divided by 3. Nope, that doesn't work. 125 divided by 4. Nope, don't want a decimal. 125 divided by 5. Hey, that works. So when you divided by 5, your answer was 25, which makes sense because multiplying them together, you get a 125. So when you divide and you get your answer, whatever number you divided by and the answer that you get, those are your factors that you will multiply together to get 125. So now let's go from here. Which one of these are prime? This happens to be prime. Sometimes they're both prime, sometimes only one of them is, sometimes both of them are composite. So you have to just take it case by case. 25 is not prime, so what numbers multiply to give you 25? A 5 and a 5. Both of these are prime, alright, no problem. Now I've got 3 prime factors. Now double check that 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. So 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. Okay, so 9 root, oh, by the way, this comes out, so I got a little ahead of myself. So there's already a 9 outside here, right? But then this pair of 5s comes out while this 5 gets left behind. So this 5 times 5 is 25, square root of that is 5. So when it comes out, it multiplies by the 9 that's already outside. And then this 5 that was left behind stays inside the radical. And then the final step is to multiply these together. So you get 45 and then root 5, and that's your final answer. Okay? So this is just working with numbers. The only thing about number 18 was that you had a number waiting outside already, so when you bring a number outside, you'll just have to make sure it gets multiplied into the mix. Alright, so that's number 18. Now I'm going to go to the 2 problems that includes variables. So that's on page 65. And if you look down here, number 3, we got a negative root 82yz to the 6th. So the 82, we still need to figure that one out. So let's try. If I take 82 and divide by the smallest number, let's see what it comes out. Hey, that works, no decimal. So remember, when you take and divide by a number and it works, then the other number is the other factor. So 2 and, oh, no, 82 divided by 2 is 41. So when I divided by 2, I got 41. These 2 multiplied equals the number on top. Okay, so any of these prime? 2 is prime. How about 41? That looks pretty prime, actually. 41 divided by 2 doesn't work. 41 divided by 3, still decimal. 41 divided by 4. 41 divided by 5. 41 divided by 6. Nope. 41 divided by 7. Nope. 41 divided by 8. Nope. 41 divided by 9. 41 divided by 10. Oops, 41 divided by 10, still decimal. 41 divided by 11. 41 divided by 12. Okay, at this point, yeah, it doesn't have 41. So, and if you look back here, guys, page 65, if we go back to page 60, 41 was actually a prime number. Okay, so, interestingly, they're both prime. There is no pair, so watch what happens. If you decide to put this 41 times 2 in here, you're just not going to have any pairs, times y times z times z times z times z times z times, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. Any pairs here? Nope. Pairs? Nope. So this is inside, this one's inside, this one's inside. Pair, pair, pair. Interesting. So don't forget the negative. This comes out as 1, this comes out as 1. So I get negative z times z times z, because for every pair, 1 comes out, every pair, 1 comes out, every pair, 1 comes out. And then you get 41 times 2 times y left inside. So let's just kind of consolidate everything. You get a negative z times z times z is z to the third. And then 41 times 2, just go ahead and remultiply that out. You get 82. So sometimes it can't be simplified. 82 just stays stuck inside. So then 82y. And then that's your final answer for this. Okay? Number 4. That's a 120. So let me go ahead and see if I could break that down. There's a lot of factors for 120. So if you're like, I don't know what to use, so 120 divide by the smallest number, 2. Okay, besides 1. And that works. 120 divided by 3 works. 120 divided by 4 works. 120, I think even divided by 5 works. Yep, 120 divided by 6. 120 divided by 7. 120. Whoops. 120 divided by 7. That doesn't work. So we already have a lot of factors. What would you like to use? Well, as soon as you see that divide by 2, hey, why not use that, right? So when you divide by 2, you get a 60. These two together should multiply to be 120, do they? Yes, they do. So now I'm going to go with this. That's prime. Now, can you think of two numbers? If you're not sure, divide. 60 divided by 2. Hey, that works. 2 and 30. Okay, if you're not sure about 30, do the same. Does it divide by 2? Yep. How about 3? Yep, okay. So you could use 3 and 10, 5 and 6, 2 and 15. A lot of you guys like 3 and 10, so I'm going to go with that. And then 10, 2 and 5, and now we've got all our primes. What I noticed some of you guys doing was getting too ahead of yourself and not making sure you had all 5 of the numbers in here. So if you got 5 circles, you better have 5 numbers here. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And they should multiply to be 120. In fact, let's do it. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. 120. Okay? And then make it longer, 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 times m times n times n times n times n. All right, now let's do the fun part. Circle all the pairs. No pair, no pair, no pair, 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 no pair. Okay? So I'm going to bring this out, bring this out, bring this out. So you bring out 1, 2, bring out 1 m, bring out 1 n, and then inside you have a 2 times 3 times 5 times n. Now these should get multiplied inside. And I'm just going to get rid of them. I'm going to make these become invisible, so it's just 2mn, square root. 2 times 3 is 6 times 5 is 30. 2 times 3 times 5, 30. 30n. Okay? Don't write 235 or 235, okay? You actually literally need to multiply them out. And now this is simplified. Alright, I would strongly suggest that if you had trouble with this, I would rewrite this on a separate sheet of paper and try it again on your own without any help from me. And then if you get stuck, come back to the video and then see if you can do it. So if you were listening to me the entire time, please, please, please don't stop this video, or at least stop it and then do it on your own, on a separate sheet of paper without any help, okay? That goes for all the other 4 problems too. This is the end of the video.